This episode is brought to you by my signature group coaching program, Thrive From Stack to Unstoppable. Thrive From Stack to Unstoppable is a most comprehensive program for overcoming limiting beliefs so you can confidently take charge of your life and career. This newly updated program is the only step-by-step approach that holistically assesses your level of fulfillment and satisfaction in the key areas of your life. This is going to help you foster a bulletproof mindset so you can have clarity, let go of fear, and those memorized patterns that are keeping you stuck from being the person that you are created to be, so you can be your most authentic self and build the confidence you need to succeed in your life and career. So to sign up for the next cohort of this group coaching program, all you need to do is go to www.wambuimboro.com/thrive, and that is www.wambuimburu.com/thrive. I can't wait to see you in class.
No one is as you as you.
Oh, say that again. No one is as you as you.
As you. No one is as you as you. There is no one else on the planet before, now, or after that is you, that is bringing the exact genius, message, vision that you are bringing. And there was, someone said this once. It was not me, but I thought, wow, man, that's so brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually the opposite of imposter syndrome. It was like, how dare you not bring your genius to the world?
Hi, I am Wambui, a corporate girl who also has multiple passions. When I'm not at my 9 to 5, I spend time focusing on growing my small side business that I love. I created From Stack to Unstoppable podcast to give you simple, actionable strategies to help you get unstuck from limiting beliefs and find your purpose. If you're a professional, a 9 to 5er, or an aspiring entrepreneur and are looking to get out of your comfort zone, use your God-given talents and passion, you, my friend, are in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of From Stack to Unstoppable podcast. I am your host, Wambui. Today we have a special episode with Bridget Brady. Her company, Amp Up My Biz, is a leader in the world of online marketing, including social media marketing. Now in this episode, we talk about social media marketing strategies that can help you as an entrepreneur succeed online and how you can avoid missing out on opportunities online, literally leaving money on the table. And of course, we talk about my favorite, mindset. I especially love how she says that no one is as you as you, meaning that no one in this planet will ever bring your genius the way you do, encouraging us to get out of our way and bring our genius into the world. So I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's bring Bridget in. Hi there, Bridget. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Wambui, I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Very good. So for those who don't know you, please tell my listeners who you are and what you do.
Yes. So I am the founder and CEO of the full service online marketing agency, Amp Up My Biz. I am also the creator of the Social Media Success Academy, and I am the author of the #1 international best-selling book, Jobs to Jammies: How to Get Out of Your JOB and Be a Work in Your PJs Entrepreneur. And I think you said my name is Bridget, but my name is Bridget Brady. And so those are my titles. But what I do is I help business owners create and close more business with the awesome power of online marketing. That's what I do.
I love that. Wow, that's really good. And I'm gonna look at your book. Where can we find your book? Is it in Amazon or?
Yeah, you can find it. It's on Amazon. That's probably the easiest place, is on Amazon.
Okay, good, awesome. So now your business, Amp Up My Biz. That's the name of it, and
Yes,
you help entrepreneurs have that online presence. And I'm one of those because I met you not too long ago, and your strategies really helped me because I was so stuck. I didn't know what do I do? What do I post? I've posted all I think I need to post. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Why is it so important for entrepreneurs to have that online presence?
Absolutely. So whether you're a full-time entrepreneur or business owner, or even if you're doing a side hustle along with your job, it is so important to have an online presence for several reasons. So number one, there are nearly 5 billion active users on social media today.
Wow.
So yeah, it is about 90% of our population is active on social media. So really, like, the simplest, first and foremost reason that it's so important to be on social is because everyone lives there. That's where people live.
Yeah.
And it's the easiest place to meet people where they already are. They're already on Facebook and Insta and YouTube and LinkedIn. They're already there. So it's a really easy place to connect with people where they live. And the second thing that I think is really important to mention is social media is bar none the best force multiplier on the planet today. So do you mind if I tell you what I mean by that?
I love that because I've had you say that, and I'd like for you to explain to us what does that mean?
Yes. So, in general, business owners, entrepreneurs, they're awesome. Their services are awesome. Their products are awesome. Their coaching is awesome. All those things are true. What the trick is getting more eyeballs on your awesome. And so why I love social media is that you can take your vision, your mission, your message, and instead of just bringing it to, let's say, a networking event where you talk to 30 people, or maybe you do a speaking gig and you talk to, 100 people, maybe. It gives you the opportunity to bring your genius to a potential of 5 billion people. Now, of course, those aren't all your ideal clients, nor do they need to be. But the percentage of 5 billion people that you need to have a huge thriving business is tiny. So it's just such a beautiful place to have a 1 to 5 billion people relationship. And there's no place else on the planet today that you can easily get that, right? That you can easily have access to that many people.
That's amazing. And like you say, that's where everybody is hanging out. So it's important. You might as well just go find them there where everybody's hanging out, right?
Yes, right. They're already there. They're already there. So you just like show up and you're like, hi, I'm here too. How can I help?
How can I help? Yes. Now, Bridget, tell me what is the main purpose for an entrepreneur? What should be the main purpose for them on social media? Should it be to be there talking about their goods, or services, or what should they be doing? Is it engaging with others? How effectively can they use social media?
Yes. So this is such a great question, and it's multi-layered, it's multifaceted, because social media is one of the best places also to grow I call it it's everyone says the KLT. I call it know, love, trust. Everyone says no, like, trust. I call it know, love, trust. Social media is one of the best places to grow that know, love, trust factor with your visibility and your credibility. And it gives people an opportunity to feel like they really are getting to know you and getting to know your services and your products. So again, it's brilliant at that. But the way you asked the question was so good, because you said, what is the primary purpose of your social media? And what I really want to give your listeners today is it's an enormous gift, truly. And when the business owners I work with, right, we've worked with thousands, truly thousands of business owners, and helped them create 6, 7, 8-figure businesses with this one paradigm shift.
Okay.
And the paradigm shift is the primary purpose of your social media as a business owner is to get people off social media.
Okay.
Period.
Wow.
Now, I know. Okay. So,
Okay.
can I elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So the elaboration is this. We live in short attention span theater, and people's attention is extremely short, and people are extremely distracted, and social media is extremely distracting.
Oh, yes.
So, ugh, extremely distracting.
Yes.
So all the things that people normally think about, which is brand awareness and creating connection and getting visible and, all those pieces of the puzzle also happen.
Yeah.
And the trick is really leading people off of social media to your website, to your landing pages, to your connection calls, to your brick and mortar store if you have one. And there's some really specific strategies around that we can continue to talk about, definitely.
Yes.
But the trick and it's really like a mental paradigm shift.
Mhm.
Is you're not just doing social for the sake of social, right? It's not just, let me see how many followers I can get or how much engagement I can get. I love followers, I love engagement, but those alone aren't going to build your business
No.
at all. I know there was a woman who shall remain nameless, who I know, who
Okay.
we're working with now, who came to us. She had over 200,000 followers, right? A huge audience.
Yes.
She was making $0 in her business.
How is that possible? How is that even
How
possible?
how is that possible? So it's possible. And they were like active followers. Her engagement was incredible. Her following was incredible. So it's possible because she missed the paradigm shift of really getting them off
Mm.
social into her offers, into her lead magnets, into her freebies. She spent so much time on social media with them, giving them value. They were happy to just sit with her in her audience and take a bunch of free value.
Right.
And there's no, and again, we're going to give a lot of free value away. Like a piece of the strategy is to give a lot of value. But at the end of the day,
Yes.
the secret purpose behind everything you do on social is to get people off social and bring them from their world on social into your world.
In your world. That's amazing. And I remember there's a time, was it last year or 2022, when Facebook and Instagram shut down for like a minute?
Yes. For a minute, for a day, and or whatever it was, and everyone,
Yes.
believe me, I was in an abject panic,
Yeah, me
even
too.
though I have an enormous email list and
Mhm.
I was in a panic. One, my business is social media. Two, all of our clients were freaking out. But
Mhm.
three, we get easily 90 to 90% of our business directly from social media.
Really?
So
90 to 90% from social media?
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the other 10% is referrals. People who will refer me or us to other people.
Okay.
But 90% of our new clients and customers come directly from social media.
Wow. So we're going to learn these strategies because I do know, like for me already, like I said, you gave me a strategy already to post on social media, how to do it. And it was so easy. I just did it in a day and I was able to, again, being that I have a 9 to 5, I only have a certain number of hours that I can, allocate to social media. So I was able to sit down for like about 2 hours and just did all my strategy, like just recorded my videos. And now I can sit back and not, worry, oh, what do I need to do today? What do I need to post? So you have very good strategies. And I'm really curious to hear about how we can even get to your strategies.
Yes. So a couple things. So one, you said something so interesting about that it didn't take a lot of time and it was so easy. So one of the big sort of myths out there, and I think this myth is propagated even by like a lot of social media experts who almost want people to think it's more complicated than it is.
Mhm.
Social media does not have to be hard and it doesn't have to be complicated. On the flip side of that coin, you kind of can't just make it up, right?
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time, spaghetti versus strategy, right? You can't just throw a bunch of spaghetti on the wall and then like hope and pray something's going to work.
Mm.
There is a very specific formula and strategy, and we can talk more about those today.
Yes.
Sure. But it doesn't, when it's done right, right? You alluded to it, right? You sat down and in 2 hours,
Yeah.
you had 10 videos in the can, ready to go out on your social media. It doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours a day. So I
Right.
just want to like take that weight off of people's mind if they're thinking, yeah, social media sounds great, but I don't have hours and hours and hours a day. You don't need hours and hours a day. So
Right. So give us some tips. Give us
yes.
some strategies that you may want to share with us today.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So, number one, this is where everyone needs to start. Claim your name. I cannot stress this enough. So, your name or your brand name or your company name, also known as your handle on social media platforms, is once it's gone forever. It's like a .com,
Okay.
right? So, if you don't own your name or your brand name and someone else registers on that platform with your name, it's gone. It's gone forever, right? I
Right.
mean, you might be able to like purchase it from them, but they then own your name. So number one, I tell people go to every single platform, whether you think you're ever going to use it again, and register whatever your name is. If you're using your name or your brand or your company, make sure you own your name across every single platform. That's one.
Okay.
Okay. Then two, focus in. Focus in. So I know that many of your listeners are, full-time professionals who have a side business. So if that is the case and your time is limited, 2 to 3 platforms maximum. That's it.
That's
That's
good.
it. People get so insane with like, I need to be on Facebook and Instagram. I need to tick. I need to talk. I need to face. I need to book. I need to snap. I need to chat. I mean, no, you don't. Like none of that. You don't need to do it. So the beautiful thing about social is that people are on many, many, many platforms.
Okay.
There are very few people who are on one platform only.
Yeah.
People pick their platforms and they're across several platforms. So if you're a solopreneur and your time is at a premium, then 2 or 3 platforms and then own your name elsewhere and focus in on those two.
Okay.
And if
And
and if you have a virtual assistant or you have someone helping you or you have a team, then I do say go ahead and get crazy with it. 4, 5, 6, 7 platforms. I think we're on 8 platforms because I
oh,
have a
wow.
team.
Yeah,
I have
you're
a team of 15 marketers.
awesome.
So
Okay.
yeah, right. So we're on all the platforms.
Thanks.
You really don't need to be. Okay, so those are a couple things.
Mhm.
And then I'm trying to think of other like really, really tangible, actionable strategies.
Mhm.
The next thing I think is really valuable is have a good content mix.
Okay.
So, yeah, so when you're looking at your social media strategy, people have a tendency to only post photos or only post videos or only post memes or only post articles or only do shares. And one, your audience gets very bored with that.
I would be
Like,
bored. Even just listening to it is like, oh.
probably you're like, even listening to you say that, you're like, I'm bored with it already.
Yeah. Just
Already bored.
imagining. It's not listening to, but imagining, oh, memes and then photos.
Right, the same thing. So in the same way that you want to meet your audience where they are on social, you want to post a variety of content, one for your audience to really get a peek into, again, who you are, your mission, your vision, your products, your services, but the social media algorithm, which is just an algorithm in its simplest form, is a list of rules, usually used by a computer, that's just always running in the back end, that's deciding on social how much of your content gets seen and gets seen by whom.
Okay.
So if you have a nice mix of content where you're posting events and holidays and sharing blogs and vlogs and videos and short videos and long videos and memes and GIFs and photos, your audience is like, whoa, this is good stuff. I love this. And the social media algorithm says, oh, this is good stuff. Like, we're going to show this to more people.
That's so helpful. Even just you saying it now, I'm like, oh wow, you're saying this and that. I can just feel the variety of things, and if it just even excites me. Like, yeah, I want to see variety of this and that, not just one thing. That's
Yes.
so helpful. So helpful, Bridget. Well, now let's talk. Anything else you want to talk about social media? Any strategy? Anything? But I do know that you do have a masterclass that's coming, and we'll talk about that. And I would like for you to let my listeners know where they can find that, because I know that's going to be great. Because I watched you in one class, and I was like, okay, Bridget, I am taking up on you. Your offer student, and it was just a free offer, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is it. So yeah. So let's talk about mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
So most of my listeners and most of my ideal customer avatar, they struggle with imposter syndrome, self-doubt, especially they don't feel very hard to show up and go get it, just go get it, just be the person that they were created to be. And that just holds them back, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome. Have you ever struggled with that as an entrepreneur? And how did you overcome that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I still struggle with that sometimes. And I
Like
have
you struggle with any of that stuff.
right. It seems right. No, but I still struggle with it. And I have a huge, thriving business and a team of 15 people. And we've helped, thousands of business owners. And still sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, do I know what I'm doing? Like, right? That thought of like, who am I to,
Yes.
right? Who am I to do this?
Yes.
Now, it doesn't happen that often, thank goodness, right? It doesn't happen that often. But even now, sometimes I do. But I would say this. When it comes to imposter syndrome, I think I have my couple of tips or my couple of strategies around that are: one, take the focus off of yourself and think about who you need to serve.
Okay.
Who are you going to serve? Who are you going to bless? Who are you going to help? Who are you going to empower? Because I think the only way it's my same tip for being on camera, and people who are like, oh, I'm so nervous to be on camera. And I'm like, stop thinking about yourself. The only reason you're nervous is because you're focused on yourself. I think the only reason that we get deep into that imposter syndrome is it's right. Who am I? And am I good enough? And I don't know, right? If
Right.
you really focus on the service, the light you're bringing into the world, it just washes away. It's like magic. It just washes away. You think, who am I going to help today? Who am I going to serve?
Right.
So that's number one.
Okay.
And then number two is no one is as you as you.
Oh, say that again. No one is as you as you.
As you. No one is as you as you. There is no one else on the planet before, now, or after that is you, that is bringing the exact genius, message, vision that you are bringing. And there was, gosh, someone said this once. It was not me, but I thought, wow, man, that's so brilliant.
Mhm.
And it was actually the opposite of imposter syndrome. It was like, how dare you not bring your genius to the world? How
Oh,
dare you? How selfish of
how
you?
selfish.
How selfish to keep your genius and your wisdom and your light hidden. It's how selfish is that?
It is, because you're not
Generous,
sharing it with others.
right? How generous is it to get out of our comfort zone and to share with other people?
Right.
So
Mm.
So whenever I get stuck, I just always think about my students, I think about my clients, I think about all the new students and clients that I'm going to help build a business and a life that they love. And I'm like, okay, but get out of your own way. Get out of your own way, Bridget, and just serve.
And
Just serve.
right, I can imagine if I didn't meet you, if you had not come out and into the world and say, this is what I do. I help entrepreneurs have that presence on social media. I wouldn't know you. I would not have had the value that I have now, with my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that too, because the other thing I love about being an entrepreneur is the ripple effect that
Yeah.
we have. Now, all humans have this ripple effect, but I do think that there's something special about entrepreneurs and, enlightened entrepreneurs with a heart of service, because right, you saw me speak.
Mhm.
You saw me speak,
Yes.
and then you're like, hey, I took your tips and they were great for me. And then you invited me to your podcast.
Great.
Now we get to expand the ripple to your listeners.
Yep.
And then who knows? And then we'll help your listeners build their business. And then what will happen with their clients and their service, their clients and customers and families and communities. Like there's this incredible ripple effect that happens for business owners and entrepreneurs that when you really think about it, if I think about it too much, I actually cry. It makes me,
Oh,
okay, I'm a big crier, but if I really, really think about it and I really think about like the team of 15 people that I get to help them put food on their table and pay their rent and their mortgage every month.
right.
Like it's enormous what we get to do as
No,
entrepreneurs.
it's enormous, and that's because you are not selfish. You were not selfish. If you had been selfish with your gift, you would not be able to be influencing and affecting these 15 people and the thousands of people that you have helped.
Right.
Sometimes start thinking about that. Don't be selfish. Don't be
Right.
selfish. Go out there and make it happen. So
Yeah.
that's really good. So I would like for you to tell my audience about your masterclass that's coming up, because I know they'll benefit from that.
Yay. So I have a free 5-day masterclass that's called Behind the Scenes Secrets to Social Media Success. And they can register at masterclass.ampupmybiz.com, masterclass.ampupmybiz.com. And it's about an hour a day for 5 days. And we have some bonus sessions sprinkled in there, but we really focus on really all 4 pieces of the puzzle, right? Your mindset, your heart set, your skill set, and your tool set. And it is, I know, right? And it's really good. It's like it's one of my favorite things I do all year.
Okay.
Is we spend a week together and we really dive deep into social media strategies and content calendar and keywords and hashtags. And most importantly, what are the most important pieces of the puzzle to move your business forward using the awesome power of online marketing? Because it's really simple when you do it right. It's so simple when you do it right.
I know I heard you say the other day that if you're not using social media, you're leaving money on the table. So we're going to be learning a lot, I'm sure, in this masterclass. And we're going to learn about how we are leaving this money on the table, because that's a big one.
Oh my gosh. It is. I mean, yes, social media to make money and build your business, all those things. And for sure, I do talk about this. Entrepreneurs who are not using social media, I can't even. Leaving so much money on the table because your audience is there. Your audience is right there.
Yeah.
And so you just have to, again, like show up there too and be like, hi, this is who I am, right? This is who I serve. Can I help you? I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple.
It's so simple. And we're going to put the link to the masterclass in my show notes. Now, where else can my listeners find you?
So they can find me everywhere on social at Amp Up My Biz. So we are literally everywhere on social media at Amp Up My Biz. So please feel free to follow and connect. And we have lots and lots of value on all of our social media. So there's that and my masterclass. Between those two things, they will be well taken care of.
They'll be taken care of. Now, when is the masterclass happening?
The masterclass is in February. It starts February 5th.
Okay.
So it is just a couple weeks from now. So it starts on February 5th.
Okay, good. So we'll make sure that this show airs, in a week's time or even sooner, so that we can have that link on our show notes again. And now, one more question that I forgot to ask you: when you say own your name on social media, is it possible to change a name on social media once you
It
get
is. It
Okay.
is. You can change it on some of the platforms. They have limitations on how many times you can change it. And then on some of the platforms, for example, in Facebook, on a group, for example, once you have a X number of people in that group, you can no longer change the name. But in terms of your actual presence and handle on the platforms, you can change them everywhere. But some platforms, be careful, and it'll say it on there when you're going to change it. They'll say you can only change your name, 3 times. You can only change your name 2 times. So some of the platforms will put a limitation on you, but yes, you can change your name on many platforms. And to that end, I also recommend you do your best. Sometimes it's hard, but do your best to have the exact same name across all your platforms.
Okay.
1, it's easier for people to find you.
Mhm.
And 2, when you go on a podcast and people say, where can we find you? You can just say, oh, I'm everywhere at Amp Up My Biz.
Right.
You don't have to give out a bunch of different handles. So
That can
it
be easy.
makes your life easier.
Yeah, very, very makes life easier. This has been very helpful, and I want to be mindful of your time. Is there anything else, Bridget, that you would like to share with my audience that I didn't touch on? This is very helpful information.
Oh, thank you. So the only thing that I would like to leave your audience with, 2 things, actually. One is begin it now. Begin your social media now, today, right? Tomorrow, right now. I always say the best time to have started your social media strategy was yesterday, or really 6 months ago. But the next best time is today. There is plenty, people get caught up in, but I haven't been on social, or I don't have a good strategy. Don't get caught up in that. Just begin, and you'll see and I hope you join me in my masterclass, but when you start employing a really good social media strategy, you'll see 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year from now, your business will look completely different. That's number 1.
Yes.
And number 2 is just believe in yourself, right? You can do this. You can do this. I didn't share a lot of my story here in this moment, but I started my business from nothing.
And I would like to be able to have some time just to share a little bit about that. Yeah.
I do. Do you have a minute for me to share a little bit?
I do. Yes, I did not want to take so much of your time because I promised her, half an hour. But if you have time, let's do it, Bridget.
I do. I'm good. So in short, I started in corporate America. So I had a very serious job for 15 years. I was an IT software developer. I was an IT project manager. I worked in New York City on Wall Street for 7 years. And I also had the dream, especially at the end of my corporate career, had the dream of getting out from corporate and being my own boss and having my own business. And Wambui, I will tell you, this was a be careful what you wish for moment, because the universe was listening. I was like, I don't want to have a job anymore. And the universe is like, okay, so here you go. So I remember it well. It was 2010. I walk into my office on a Friday morning to an email that essentially says, "Dear Ms. Brady, thank you so much for your 8 years of excellent service. Today is your last day."
Oh, no notice?
No notice. So I was a consultant.
Okay.
So I wasn't an employee, and whatever, there was no notice, no notice, no nothing. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. And I used to call this my year of financial ruin, because in a 5-month span, I lost my very high paying consulting gig. I lost my pretty place to live 1 block from the ocean here in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Ooh, I know. And I didn't have any money. So apparently you don't get to stay in the place you live when you don't have any money.
oh,
And my boyfriend left me
oh my
because
goodness.
apparently he was in it for the money. He also left.
Oh,
So I moved to a place I didn't want to live, and I was lying on my floor, literally my floor, for 2 months. I had nothing. I had nothing. I was lying on my floor for 2 months, feeling very, very sorry for myself. But I now call this my year of the Phoenix.
oh, I love that. Your year of the Phoenix.
Yes, it was my year of the Phoenix, because apparently I had to burn my life to the ground to be born again, right? To rise out of the ashes and create the awesome life I live now. So the reason I tell this story is I started with nothing. I didn't even have furniture. I had nothing. And I started my own businesses, and I failed forward for a good year. And then for me, it really was the power of social media. I'd learned social media in a class that I took a few years before when I had my JOB. I
Okay.
took this amazing class. It was super expensive and super amazing. And I started applying what I learned to my failing businesses, and they started growing. And then they started growing and growing and growing. And the rest is kind of history. I was growing my own businesses. I got really good at online marketing. I love helping people and empowering people. So in 2015, 9 years ago, I sort of put those hands together and I started my current company, Amp Up My Biz. And that was it. I never looked back. I started as a solopreneur, and then grew over the last 9 years. And here we are.
That's an amazing story. I'm so happy you shared it because that's going to give a lot of people a lot of hope.
Yes. And that's why, again, like those two things, like start your social media now.
Right.
And I promise you can do this. Like, I promise that it is possible, whether you stay in your job or not. I didn't have a choice.
Right.
My job said, no, we're done with you. It was the big economic downturn. But whether you stay in your job and have a side business or you go full time into your business, like there is a path forward and there is a path to success. I know that there is. So it's
Yeah.
just the last thing I wanted to say.
Yeah. I love that. And yeah, true. Whether you stay in your job, because a lot of people, they enjoy what they do. I enjoy what I do, but it's just that you want that extra source of income. So it's a good thing. So it doesn't matter where you are. Just start now. Start
now. Yes.
Amazing, Bridget. I am so thankful that you give me your time and you've shared so many nuggets. I'm thankful for you. I appreciate you. And I'm so happy that I'm in your world, that we're in each other's world.
I am so happy that that is the case as well. Thank you so much for having me. It's been my great pleasure and my great honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I hope this episode was helpful as much as it was to me. Now remember, Bridget says the best time to have started your social media strategy was yesterday, but the next best time is today. So I hope you're going to join Bridget in her free masterclass, Behind the Scenes Secret to Social Media Success, where she will be sharing with us the social media strategies that will help us move our businesses forward. And until next time, take care. Hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, please take time to review and rate it. It's the fastest and easiest way to say thank you for creating this content. Until next time, keep thriving. I cannot wait to see you next week. Take care now.